We're queuing up, waiting for Vecheryl to come on board. She should be here in a few minutes. If she can hear me out there, I see she's logged on. Vecheryl, are you there? So it is straight up top of the hour, 77 degrees on the 12th day of August of 2022. So this is the day that it's hump day. It's Friday. Exactly what it is. It's that time where we get to sit back. Did I say hump day? I have been getting my days mixed up all this morning. I went from Sunday to Thursday, now to Wednesday. And I know that y'all want the weekend to be over with that quick. But yeah, we are working on it. We're trying to get ourselves straight so we get the time straight because we just all over the place. I don't know what's going on today. I'm trying to figure it out, but I will. Sooner or later, I will. Ain't that right, Vecheryl?
Yes. Okay. Can
There
you
you
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No.
I was saying, where is Vecheryl at?
I thought I was on, that's why you hire folks to do your technical stuff when you don't know what you're doing.
You know what? I agree with you 110% on that one. I'm doing some things right now, switching things over so we can see everybody. There we go. There we go. All right. It's 1 minute after the hour. I'll say 9:01 Central Standard Time. Somebody got on my case one time. I gave the time of like 9:01. And I didn't say Central Standard Time. And they said they're trying to tune in. They were out in California. So the time was off a little bit. But that's how it is. It is 77 degrees on the 12th day of August. And we have the beautiful, talented Vecheryl. And boy, does she have a story. Now, I can't remember when I met you, but people will notice there's certain people that stand out in the crowd. You can line them all up, and two people will stand out in that crowd without saying anything. And that's what you call, I don't know what you call it, but you one of them, Vecheryl. You one of them that stands out in the crowd because talking to you, I was bragging about you earlier on how bubbly you was and how you enjoy life. But they really don't know your story, the reason why you enjoy life. And some of that, and some things that you developed after. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let you say it. So I'm gonna say, introducing. This is Vecheryl. Give us your background leading up to how can I put it? The words are not just there. On the things you went through in life and how you conquered it.
Okay, hi everyone. My name, like you said, is Vecheryl Adams, and the story he's talking about is I am a survivor of cancer, and I went through a very tragic experience, not so much with cancer, but with the treatment. So there was a journey that I went through when I was diagnosed, but what it did, it caused me to reflect on a lot of things that I actually went through in my past, and how they say that everything that the enemy meant for bad, God would turn it into our good. So going through that process, I was able to develop a business, a book, and all of that through going through my struggle of surviving cancer. Yes. So as y'all, because I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, this is one of the testimonies. It came out of that, Vecheryl's Healthy House. As a cancer survivor. So I don't know how far deep you want me to go, because if I go too far back, we might be here for a minute.
Oh, well, we got time. We got time, girl. We got time.
All right.
So just give us the when you was diagnosed with cancer, your thoughts and feelings when it happened, because a lot of people don't understand when they tell you that, because people look at cancer as a death sentence. That's how they look at it. But you turned around, and like you said, you turned it around. So give us a little background when you was diagnosed with it, and how did you turn that around?
Okay, so it was March. It was in March of 2015 when I discovered a abnormal lump in my breast. And so I went to the doctor, because every now and then you get these little cysts and things. It's nothing. And so that was my mindset that, that's all this is, because it just appeared all of a sudden. So I went to the doctor, had some tests. And as a matter of fact, when I went back to get the results from my test, I went by myself because I was like, oh, it's nothing. But when I got there and the doctor, how they prepare you and say, did anybody come with you? I was like, no, it's just me. And I was like, oh, what? Well, I need family members. What are they going to tell me?
Yeah.
Is there anybody you want to call? I was like, okay, what is he preparing to tell me? And that was those 3 words: you have cancer. And so when I first heard it, of course, the natural reaction, I was like, oh my God, me? How me? Why me? All of these. And so I did have a lot of emotional reaction. I cried. I sat in my car. At the time, 2 of my children were still in school, high school. And I was like, okay, what am I going to tell my kids? All those different things come in your mind. And so the beginning was a very negative reaction to that. And so they told me, of course, the doctors, our goal is to cure you. Of course, I was like, yeah, that's my goal too. I want y'all to cure me. And so I went through the process of chemotherapy. And for about 6 months, they were giving me chemo every 23 days. Now, my background, kinesiology, very active, basketball, sports, weights, all that. So I was pretty athletic and strong. So I watched that process as I went through that chemotherapy. My body just began to deteriorate. I mean, it got so bad. Of course, I lost all my hair. My skin was so dark, as if those chemicals were burning my skin from the inside out. My nails began to almost fall off. They became so black. I got a real severe case of neuropathy where I couldn't even hardly touch things without the pain. My immune system, of course, was compromised. So I was open to a lot of diseases. I caught pneumonia. I was in the hospital for dehydration. I lost my appetite. I couldn't eat. My weight dropped down to like 145 pounds. Well, that might be a good thing, but I lost a whole lot of weight. I mean, I just became from this healthy, athletic, 5K runner to a very frail, fragile individual who could barely walk without someone assisting me to get out of the chair. And I'm thinking to myself, I know the goal is cure, but something ain't right. This thing is destroying me. So I was at, I think, my ex-mother-in-law's house. And she was having a health conference. And there was a doctor that was coming to speak to them. He was iridologist and a naturopathic doctor. And he saw me. And what he does, iridology, is where they do the exam through the eyes. So he did an exam on me, Ron, and he didn't know me from Adam. And he began to tell me about myself, about all the things that was going on in my body and stuff. Because one of the things the doctors had done while I was going through this process, they were running tests. I had begun to get abnormality with my heart. All these things are happening while they're trying to cure this cancerous, what they call cancer, in my body. And so he did that exam, and he asked me, he said, you've been going through chemo. Your body is very toxic. What are you doing now? I said, well, right now they want me to go through 8 more months of chemo and some radiation, because after all that process, I forgot to tell y'all, after 6 months of the chemotherapy, the tumor never shrunk. It never did. And so the end results was still, they had to remove my breast. And so I'm thinking 6 months of torture, and I still have to have the breast removed. And then when they removed the breast, they said they may not have gotten it all. So let's go through some more process and do some radiation and all those things. So here I am, no hair, skin black, fingernails done, 1 breast, feeling less than a woman. All of those things that's going on in my mind. And I'm like, who can sustain something like this? So I know the doctor, his name was Dr. Price, was a godsend. So he talked to me. He said, looking at your body, you want to go through 8 more months of this treatment. He said, I'll be surprised if you make it 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that I had some thinking to do, but he said, there's an alternative. And Ron, more than anything else, what stood out to me, what gave me the courage to go and try and do what he said, because as scary as it sounds, wait a minute, you telling me don't do this treatment? So I could die if I do it, but I can also die if I don't. And he took me to Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. He said, in God's word, it says, I give to you every tree on the face of the earth that bears seeds, and every fruit that has seeds in it, I give to you for food. I said, wait, what? I never saw that. You know, we read our word, but you know, some things we just don't see.
Right.
Or we don't receive. We read it, I'll read through it. And he said, God created you fearfully and wonderfully. And because he created you, he created a system to provide for the body that he created. And it comes from the ground. He said, everything on earth that he provided you naturally is designed to heal your body. And so that got my attention. So I said, I got a decision to make. Do I now trust what man made to cure me, or what God made to cure me? And so, of course, God won hands down. And so I began to trust his process that he gave me, the remedies that he gave me, the procedures and the things that he gave me to do in order to get my body back to its natural state. Because basically, again, the doctor's goals was to cure, but what they were doing is almost like if you see a spider on the wall and you want to kill it and you use a machine gun to kill it, eventually you're going to hit it. But all the casualties around you is destroyed. And that's what was happening to my body. They were aiming and targeting to try and kill this thing, what they called cancer. But in the process, they were destroying so many other things in my body. And when I found out that heart decision, that I wasn't dying from cancer, I was dying from the treatment.
Wow. So the change that you made, well, you said it wasn't a hard choice because God won hands down. Mm-hmm. But the change that you made to stop chemo, to go ahead and take the natural way, how long was that process?
It's an ongoing process. It was a lifestyle change, but for me, because it was a life or death situation, I was able to just jump in with both feet and go in drastically. And so some of the things I had to do immediately, I had to change what I realized later. I had to first change my way of thinking because I needed to I took out all meat, pork, beef, chicken, turkey, all meat, because we found that the level of acid in meat was a factor. Processed foods, synthetic vitamins, white stuff that was processed, like white sugar, white flour, white rice. And I began to replace it with brown rice, brown sugar, and things that were in its natural state. If it came out the ground brown, I'm not going to eat it white. If it came out the ground green, I'm not going to eat it white. What I mean by, the sugar, it's brown when it comes out. So why am I going to eat it white after they bleached it and processed it and did other things? Even your stevia sugar, the natural sugar, it's green because the plant stevia turns green and it's not white. So I had to learn and start to rethink about different things that I did. I started taking natural supplements instead of the synthetic, like the one-a-day vitamins and all those things, and start taking natural herbal vitamins. What else did I have to do? I added apple cider vinegar and orange juice, different things to stimulate my nerves and my body, garlic, echinacea. I mean, there was so many things that I had to learn about, but I was strictly at that time just following his lead, just trusting what he was telling me was done, But then I started getting curious because my body started turning around. I started getting stronger. So I started getting curious, like, okay, why is apple cider vinegar and orange juice helping neuropathy when the doctors are giving me gabapentin, which had so many side effects? It made me sleepy, drowsy, and lethargic all day. And so I started looking up and researching, why does, apple cider vinegar work just as good, if not better, than gabapentin? And then, okay, why am I taking echinacea and it's helping boost my immune system? And so the curiosity of trying to find out why these natural things are working and why the doctors ain't telling us about it. Well, they couldn't, because it goes against their license, and it's a whole, that's a whole nother segment.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had to really trust. I had to really activate my faith and believe that God said it. I believe it. It's final. And so I began to really look at the natural things and things that was creative, anything from the ground. Yeah.
So what was the day? How did you feel when you found out that you was cancer free?
It was a victorious day at first, because when they told me, it was after the surgery. But then when they said, you're cancer free, but just in case, or we may have, and I was like, no, that don't sound right. That don't sound like, victory. You're saying, oh, cancer free, but we're going to give you some more chemo and radiation. And so, no. So that's when I spoke it. Cancer free, never to return to this body again. I don't even claim remission, Ron, because remission means I expected it might come back. But I believe when God used his method to cure my body, it's final, period. So if I put a period on cancer, and one of the things that I know helped me with that is my positive thinking. Because what I found out through all the research and trying to find out, discover a way that someone else would not have to go through what I do. So I said, what was the main factors? And it started the day he told me, when he said, Vecheryl, you have cancer. What I did in that day, I accept what he told me as truth. And then I began to speak it. I have cancer. I have cancer. Oh my gosh, I have cancer. So I gave that thing life. The word says life and death are in the power of the tongue. So as creators, I began to create in my mind that fear. And fear affects the body. It causes stress. Stress breaks down the immune system. It affects our DNA. So all those things I learned later were factors that affected my body. And so what I focused on more so after the natural things was my positive thinking. So a lot of people ask me, when you're trying to talk to a client and get them to transition into a new lifestyle of eating, what is the things that you face? I said, the hardest thing is the mindset. Because if all my life I was taught that medication is what I take when I'm ill, that's what I'm going to believe. If I believe, Ron, all my life that the only thing that would cure a headache is Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, then that is what I'm going to believe. So when somebody tell me, no, take a drop of peppermint oil, put it in your hand, inhale it, rub it on the back of your neck and on your temples, and in a few minutes, your headache will be gone. I'm not going to believe that, because that's not the norm, or what we consider the norm. Because all my life, I was told Advil, Tylenol. So I had to change my way of thinking. I had to think back and rationalize the fact that my great-great-great-grandmother didn't have Tylenol, Advil, or Aleve. My great-great-grandmother never put a blood pressure cup on her arm. She didn't have mammograms. She didn't have all these machines and x-ray. Those things didn't exist. Yet those women were so strong and so powerful, because what were they doing? They were planting gardens. They were making their own fruits, their own vegetables, their own jams, their own preserve. They were taking castor oil. Y'all remember some of y'all lining up as kids when it's wintertime, taking that teaspoon of castor oil. I know I had to, didn't know what it was for, but grandma and great grandmother knew stuff that we didn't know, because the transition from natural health back in the 1950s came to focusing on pharmaceutical because the almighty dollar.
Exactly, because we all know that they're not there for a cure. They're there to push their medicine on people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And
so which brings me to this point. I went over your website. I remember we talked on the phone, so you go over it if you want. You can find something on. I found a lot on there. Okay, there's a lot on there. So you said it. You said the key is mindset. You have to be ready for that lifestyle change. Because if you're not ready for it, no matter what you do, you're not going to do it. And it has to be positive thinking too. You can't go around saying woe is me, because that's what they want. Mm-hmm. And and you talking about the medicine and stuff. What's funny, me and my wife are sitting down and watching a commercial about medicine. It said what it do for you. Then came the side effects. It may cause this, it may cause suicidal tendency. You may do this, may do that. I said, wow. I said, so either take that medicine and become crazy or leave it alone. It's like, do you really want to take it? After they say the side effects, you want to say, wait a minute, why do I want to take this for all these side effects?
Exactly. And see, the thing is, because we're so trusting in medication, half of us don't even pay attention to that. One thing I do, admire the pharmaceutical department about is that, they ain't hiding nothing from you. They tell you, okay, take this pill. It may cause, diarrhea, upset stomach, headaches, even death, but it's going to cure, that high blood pressure. You might be dead, but at least you died without high blood pressure.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that may cause death. Okay, death pill or this?
They don't guarantee you that death certificate ain't going to say high blood pressure, but
yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
If we were able to look at some of the autopsies of some people who so-called died from cancer, you would probably see that the underlying reason doesn't say cancer. It may say they died of heart failure, pneumonia, kidney failure. So which is not the cancer. It was an effect of the treatment from the cancer.
Yes, exactly. Which brings to this point right here. We talked about your website and not too much in detail because I want to get to the main topic. So I heard through the grapevine, we were somewhere, I forget where we were at, and it was Veronica that said that you wrote a book.
She's so awesome.
Yeah, we'll get on her later.
I said I was gonna, every time I go out, I can't help but talk about it. But go ahead. This is about me.
Come on. I do the same thing. Every time I go, I end up talking about both of them, Glenn and Veronica. But she told me that you wrote a book. I said, she wrote a what? She wrote a book. And I looked at you and said, so when you plan on telling me this? And I said, I'm gonna have you on my show. Then you said, well, I'll be going on with Vincent D. Webb and maybe we could do this, do that. I said, that's okay. You go ahead on because we all do the same thing. Make sure we get the word out to everybody. And I brag about Vincent D. Webb and Keith Scott at KROV and all that. So you did a show of Vincent D. Webb on Monday?
Yes.
Monday? And here you are on Friday right here. So I remember you said, well, I don't want to say the same thing over and over again, but you know what? You have to sometimes in order for people to hear where you're coming from. They may not heard you the first time around, but the second time around, just like going to the movies, watching the movie, you didn't hear that line the last time you seen that movie.
Right.
And then you hear, where did that come from? It was always there. So, but tell us about the book and how did you come about writing that book?
Yes, my book is He Fought, I Won. I had a little flyer. I don't know if y'all can see that from
there you
He
go.
Fought, I Won. That's the book. And well, originally the book was going to be called, that's why the subtitle is Cancer Was No Match Against Nature. So that it was his testimony strictly about the process I went through, what I just told you briefly about how from the day I was diagnosed to when I met Dr. Price and the outcome that led to me creating a business called Vecheryl Healthy House. And the testimonial was just that. And it focused on just people, the interest would have piqued those who had cancer, may have had it, or may be facing someone, a loved one who had it. And then when I was reading it at the original, I said, you know, there are so many things, looking at the definition of cancer, in Webster Dictionary, it said cancer is defined as something evil and dangerous that spreads rapidly. And I said, you know what? That can define a lot of obstacles and a lot of things that people face in life. And so I said, let me embody this book, not with just what I went through with cancer, how God fought that battle, but let me talk about other battles that may have seemed cancerous in my life that was spreading dangerously if it wasn't uprooted. And that way I can help not just those who's going through cancer, but anyone who may have gone through some of the things that I went through or as a child, that I believe that God prepared me for to face this big giant. You know, you never really look at all the battles. That's why I changed the title to He Fought and I Won, because it allowed me to reflect back on so many battles that I went through, that God did all the fighting and I did all the winning. And so I went all the way back to my childhood and thought about that. And another reason why I thought about going back, because again, it all begins with mindset. What was the mindset, my self-conscious mind, even as a child, of thinking that I had to develop differently, that allowed me to have enough faith to believe that I can walk away from the traditional way of medicine and truly trust in God. And then those testimonies of my strength in the past. So the He Fought, I Won is embodied with various testimonies of my childhood. It talks about my siblings, and I love them. You know how sometimes your siblings would say things in fun. We're laughing, say stuff like, I'm the last, the baby of the family. And they used to joke with me saying, "Oh, you were an accident. Mama they didn't want you, you know." That they wanted a boy, and Henry was a boy. You know, my brother was right before me. So they was planning on stopping to hear me. You know, we laughing and joking, good intentions. I know that my sisters love me. I know that it was childhood fun. I know that it was jokes and there was no ill intention involved as a child. But what I realized is sometimes seeds that are planted in your subconscious mind can be there and grow later and get you to wondering because of different events that may have happened in your life or things that happened, you know, like your dad not being there or he leaving. Then you start wondering, is there some truth to what they're saying? Did they really not want me? Was I, and so I talked about those feelings and I talked about, a lot of different things. You have, read the, you could go on Amazon.com and pull up a sample of the book before you buy it. And I'm glad they do that because I believe once you read that you'll purchase it. But you look at the table of contents after the introduction, the first chapter is titled Born for a Reason. And so what I had to realize later that no one's an accident. You were born on purpose, for a purpose, and there's something specifically that is designed and put inside of us that we are only designed to give. There's a gift that I have, Ron, that only I can give. You cannot give the gift and the things that were placed inside of me to give to the world because they were given to me. And so if I leave this world and don't fulfill that destiny or that purpose, then I just robbed you of a precious gift that God had placed inside of me. And so when I realized the importance that nobody's an accident, no matter how you got here, no matter what the situation or the procedure process was, and whether it was intentional, accident, a backseat of the car, don't matter. You're here for a reason. And I had to come to that reality. So I wrote about that. for that child that may think that, they weren't wanted, that child that grew up without a father and how that feels, that mother who had to raise children on their own, who lost their husband, that wife that may have had a spouse in jail, that one who's going through with a physical challenge. I look at all these battles and I was like, why me? Because that's one of my chapters. But then when I think about it, I said, why not me? God took me through these things. So now I don't just have to read about how to overcome some of these things, but I've experienced it. And so when I used to think that I didn't have the qualification to speak to people because there's not a doctor in front of my name or PhD, I said, I have a lot to sell, and my experience is my inventory.
Amen to that. You are so right about that, because you lived it and you know it. So now we're going to flip back to your website, because I set that up. Okay. So your website, you talk about all that, and you also do you counsel people on how to change their lifestyle? Do you sit down with them step by step on what they need to do in order to I want to say stay healthy and eat healthy and just be healthy? So what is the process? If I came to you right now and said, Miss Adams, I need some help. And of course, you're gonna say, "What type?" Well, with me, you look at me, you say, "No, you don't." But I'm just kidding. you would probably say, "Well, okay, what help do you need? What is going on with you? Can you walk us through that process?"
Yes, I do have a website, Vecheryl.com. And again, after going through the experience that I went through, my determination and my goal was to try and help people, anyone that I can, anyone who would listen, not have to go through that process, or at least know that there's an alternative. I'm not one to tell people to stop taking the medication, stop. I will educate you or tell you the effects that it's having on you and the alternatives that you can have. So if you was to come to me, I said, I went and got my certificate as a natural health consultant. First thing I would ask you about your lifestyle. What is your history? How, matter of fact, one of the first things after they tell me, I got high blood pressure, I'm on this and that and diabetes, and my diabetes is this, and my high blood pressure and my this, the first thing I do is say, okay, let's first correct that mouth. Quit saying my high blood pressure. Quit saying my diabetes, because that don't belong to you. Stop possessing something that don't belong to you. So let's say that and then I listen to the medications they have, the way they eat. And then I say, how much water do you drink? That simple question. And 9 out of 10 would probably say, I drink a little water. I don't like water. Oh, water. I try to drink it. I don't know why it's so hard for us to drink water. That's so natural,
Yeah.
He said, I'm the living water. Water gives life. Our body is 90% water. Then we won't drink water. And then I just go from there. There's no cookie cutter remedy for anyone. So I don't see how when doctors, you say, have high blood pressure, they all prescribe one medicine first, because that medicine is going to react in your body differently than it's going to react in mine. But yeah, that's what I would sit down and just evaluate your lifestyle, your current lifestyle, Ron, what's going on with you now, and then ask what your concern is.
Well, that's right there. I loved your approach. Is point blank right there. And the part you said about water, they will go ahead and grab a soda, grab a beer, grab anything else, and then they look at you with their eyes and say, well, isn't water in here? They try to justify the reason why they're drinking this. There's no justification to it.
No.
Me, when I stopped drinking beer, it was my decision. It wasn't the doctor's, because so I went on and stopped. So anytime I got the urge to want a beer, I drank water. when I went to a grocery store, it was hard for me to pass up that beer aisle. But now, months down the line, instead of buying cases of beer, I'm buying cases of water, keeping it here, fill it up. I got a refrigerator in my office. I'm drinking water constantly every day, just constantly. That's what I do. Now the thought of beer don't even come to my mind. Matter of fact, when I seen you at Third Coast, the lady came 4 times to me. You want anything to drink? I said, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I set myself up in that environment to make sure I'm not weak when it comes down to that. And I found out you could sit a whole bottle in front of me and all that. So I just look at it. I'm good. So
Yeah.
I am changing my lifestyle slowly but surely. You know, that was a step one right there. And my eating is the other thing. I got this young lady that preps my food for me. It's all natural and stuff. So I am slowly but surely going in that direction. Cause my wife looked at me the other day. You okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. Why is that? She said, I see your stomach going down. You know, and I just looked at it. I said, well, I'm changing my lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I'm
And
doing.
I love how you say that and didn't say I'm on a diet. No, it's a lifestyle change, because diet, when you think about the first 3 letters in that word, yeah, that's what ended up happening.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. We don't eat out as much because the last time we ate out, I want this. You got to think that's sodium free. No, I can still taste the salt in the food. And a couple of times I said, I can't eat this, and I send it back. So we got an air fryer here, which was one of the best things we could have got. So I have that, and we probably use that 3 times a week and stuff. But like you said, it's a lifestyle change, and you got to be willing to do it. And but then people will fall back, and my nutritionist having told me point blank, you can have every once in a while your cheat day, but that's up to you. If you want it, go ahead and do it. You could do it once a week. I said, what about once a month? She looked at me and I said, yeah, once a month. I don't need to do it every week. I could do it once a month. And usually my cheat days is when we go on vacation. But we look at restaurants that's whole food, like cooked from scratch. And you know, because I was talking to somebody the other day, we were talking about you don't have to put all this salt on your food. There's other spices out there that can mimic that and taste better. So those are things that I'm doing right now. So I'm asking you now, am I in the right direction?
You are in the right direction, because it is a process. You know, I done a drastic change, because I was at the edge where, you need to make a decision. So I had to jump in both feet, get rid of everything all at one time. There's no time to figure out what I can wean out. But that's why my goal is to make sure no one is where I was, because I always tell them it's so much easier to prevent than it is to cure. Prevention is easier than cure, because once you get to the point where now we have to fix this, then there's so many underlying problems that we have to fix first before you get to the ultimate goal. But if you do prevention, but unfortunately, again, the mindset is, well, I don't have high blood pressure, so it's okay if I eat all this bacon. No, you're not eating the bacon, so you won't develop high blood pressure. So you want, because what I find out, when you find out the why, I think that helps too also, because you remember I start researching, why is this helping? Why is this hurting? Why is this helping? Why is this hurting? And when you begin to find out why is it bad for me to eat pork? Well, think about the pig. That's one of the most acidic animals around. Why? Because we get rid of waste as human through 6 different exits. We have a way to get rid of waste through our mouth, through our nose, through our eyes, through our reproductive areas, through our skin. But a pig has 1 exit. So all that toxins, all that slop, all the stuff and nasty things that they eat, anything off the ground, stays in their system. And so life is in the blood. So if life is in the blood and we're eating that flesh and blood of a pig, then we're also getting all that toxin and acid from that pig. And when I mention water, because one of the main things, what Dr. Price first told me when he said, your body is MAD. That was an acronym, MAD. Excuse me. He said, your body is full of mucus, acid, and drugs. So we need to detoxify your system and get your body what they call alkaline. Now we hear that word a lot, alkaline. I need to alkaline my body, which means it's getting your body to a balance where it's water. You know, we need some acid in our body, but too much acid, diseases can thrive in an acidic body. Diseases are attracted to an acidic body. So if you get your body to, in a cellular level, to an alkaline level in your body, it's hard for diseases to thrive. It's hard for them to live, because now our system is so strong that those white blood cells, what he called the Army, Air Force, and Navy, are fighting the way they're supposed to in our system. And then our body can operate and heal itself the way it was designed. So yes, it's a process now. So doing a little thing at a time, taking certain things out of your diet is an excellent start, because you're not only changing your habits, you're also changing your mindset. You're changing that wonderful thing that God gave us. The brain is so awesome because you tell your brain something and it receives it. I tell somebody that it's a known fact. I know if you look at some of my videos that I do live on Facebook, I always end it with, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours, because a smile is contagious. Try it sometime. If you walk in and you smile at somebody, maybe 7 out of 10 times they're going to smile back. And also, just smiling in any situation, Ron, and you can look this up because I didn't believe it scientifically. They said, when you're smiling, it sends a signal to your brain that everything is okay. So you could be in the worst situation and you begin to smile. Your brain's like, okay, this is something going on here, but seems like she's okay because she's smiling. Everything's going to be okay. So it calms the body. It releases stress. The hormones are not running amok. And, you know, fearfully and wonderfully made. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. I was like, my God, you did an amazing thing with these bodies. If we only realized how great we are, how powerful we are as beings, then a lot of things that we go through and we do wouldn't affect us as much. Positive thinking can change your whole household.
Yeah. When you said that, let me see. Believe me, we got people on here. They say you got a good testimony going, and stay hydrated, and drink alkaline water. Is that good? Yes.
Now, God created water, and it's a natural state. Alkaline water is, again, you're altering something that's natural. You know, if you really want to boost up the pH or the alkalinity of your water, you can simply put a natural lemon in it. Paying for alkaline water, again, is something that someone, see, when man processes our food, that what they do is take something that's already natural and they remove all the nutrients from it, enhance it for mass production, and put the nutrients back in there. And so I'm thinking, why not just leave it in its natural state? Because to have to take your natural water, be it spring water or spring water is the best, and run it through a machine to change what God naturally produced as H2O, 1 hydrogen, 2 oxygens, and trying to add more to it, then we're altering what God has made natural still. And that's in my, so alkaline water, to me, my opinion, is not necessary to spend that extra money to get alkaline water when you can get the same results with natural. If you want to increase the alkalinity, add a lemon to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And to be alkaline is not just water. Fruits, vegetables, anything natural is can help alkaline your body. You know, you got your cucumbers and your celery. Those are so full of water. Your watermelon, strawberries, those things have water in it that also helps. When you say I can't drink all that water, but it doesn't have to all be water. But you can't sit there and eat a pork chop with French fries and uh, wheat bread and then get a 32-ounce Coke and think that you could go home and drink some alkaline water and you're going to be okay, because it doesn't work that way. I always relate the body to a car engine. I don't know a lot about engines, but I know the basic. There's several systems in your car. And that's why I always say sometimes we treat our car better than we do our body. We know that gas goes in the gas tank, oil goes in the oil tank, water goes in the radiator, power steering fluid goes in that area. So how many of us would say, you know what, gas prices right now are too high, so I can't afford to get that gas, so instead I'm going to put some water in my gas tank? Or you take the oil and put it in the radiator, or you take the power steering fluid and put it. No, you're going to make sure your car gets what it's designed to receive so it can operate properly. So why would we do that differently for our bodies? Oh, I cannot drink orange juice, or I cannot eat healthy because I can't afford it. So instead, I'm going to do this. But yet, if it says put premium gas in that tank, I don't care how much it costs. You're going to make sure your car gets premium gas. So why wouldn't you give your body premium food? Because our bodies have systems. You know, we have our different systems designed to the lymphatic system, respiratory system, endocrine system. Systems are made to run and function naturally. But if you give it something that it can't operate on, then it's going to malfunction. Again, same thing with your car. If I put milk in my gas tank, I can't expect it to start in the morning, because dairy is not for the car. So dairy is not for our bodies.
Okay. Oh, you're funny. I like you. You something else. All right. It is 47 minutes after the hour here in San Antonio. Vecheryl, I just got to say that you are so full of life, and you break things down in layman terms that anybody can understand. Because with doctors and stuff, they put things in this medical terminology that you got to get a lawyer to figure out what are they saying. You know, but when you break it down in layman term that everybody can understand, it makes everybody feel much better that, hey, maybe I need to try this. Maybe I need to try that. What's those saying? Try it, you might like it.
Try it, you might like it.
You know,
Yeah.
so, okay. Any closing thoughts?
Yes, I want to tell you that He Fought, I Won right now is an ebook. You can purchase that book for $7. Who could get an amazing testimony for $7? Or you can get it free if you go to church. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
So you can go to Amazon.com. I have a link, but it's so long. So the easiest way is just to type my name in the search button, Vecheryl Adams, and the book should come up. Vecheryl.com is my website. Jumpstart consultation. If you want one-on-one just to talk about, there's different regimens we can start. If you're thinking about trying to change your lifestyle, change your way of eating, or just want to know what I can do for this or what I can do for that, go to Vecheryl.com, hit my Jumpstart button, and let's talk about it.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to call you because I got some questions for you. Personally, I got some questions for you. So I'm pretty sure that you will answer them.
Yeah, I would do my dead level best.
Okay. Okay. Now we got to rewind. We got to go back to some other things before we close out. I know I said your closing thoughts, but I want everybody to know this right now. I probably put her on the spot when I say this. Do you know this girl could sing? Do you know this girl could sing? She could sing. And it's a little group around Joseph Lee, Glenn, Veronica, Brad. I can't remember. She gonna hurt me.
Crystal,
Crystal,
Jane.
yes. They all hang together. Every once in a while, I show my head up in there because I gotta get up early and do things, get ready for the show in the morning. But every once in a while, I will go out and support them and watch them sing. But this girl could sing right here.
Well, thank you.
Don't let her fool you. That pretty smile, when she opens up them lungs, oh, it comes out. So now the one thing we're going to talk about, and I do it on every show, I don't know why, it's that Veronica and Glenn. Those two are like magnets. You know that?
Yes.
Veronica,
Let me tell you.
go ahead and tell us about your friend Veronica. I'm not friend. I'm
My
sorry. I'm sorry. Glenn made that real close. We're not friends. We're family.
We're family. We are family. I said that on Vincent's show because I said Dr. Veronica Brooks wrote the foreword in my book. And the reason I asked her to do that, because so many people, that friends and family who knew about me and knew that I was trying to start Vecheryl's Healthy House, and I had an idea of writing a book. She poured that out of me. I said, one of the gifts that Miss Brooks, and I kept saying Miss Brooks, and I was like, I'm not gonna call her that because that's my bestie. So Veronica, she has a talent to see gifts in people, and she will help pull out your greatness. So she was a driving force that really helped me to go ahead and move forward and getting Vecheryl's Healthy House really going, and getting my book started, because I had thought about writing this book back in 2017. And here we are, 2022. And she's like, well, what are you waiting for? And I was like, I don't know. But yes, she's an amazing person. Her and her husband, Glenn, they are an amazing example of marriage, of business. I just love them to pieces.
Yeah. Well, when you said she's got a knack.
Look, I want my fade because I did do that for you. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Nah,
you both.
real.
You know, you said that she's got a knack of seeing your gift and pulling it out.
Yes.
So when I went back online again after the pandemic and the freeze, I lost all my equipment due to power surgery and stuff. And I decided I went back out again. I think it was April or something. I started broadcasting again a little bit at a time. And my whole idea was just play music and have fun. But I interviewed a couple of times, and Veronica called me and said, Ron, you have a gift. I said, what's that? You got the knack of bringing things out of people when you talk.
Yes.
And I said, no, I don't. She said, yes, you do. I said, no,
Yes,
I don't, Veronica. And we're arguing back and forth. If anybody know Veronica, you're not going to win. So to make a long story short, I started interviewing people, and then all of a sudden it started catching fire. All of a sudden it was Black women who had a story to tell, who had a business that God had placed on me to talk to them. And that's what I did. And Veronica, she won't say I told you so. She would never say that. She would say, that's your gift, stick with it. Mm-hmm. The reason why she said that, I did a photo shoot with her, and it was hard for me to get her to do what I wanted her to do. So I started talking to her, and I started messing with her. The next thing I know, that smile came on her face, and all of a sudden it just popped. And I just started taking pictures. Yeah, I just started taking pictures. And I remember the first photo shoot I did for her, I sent her the pictures. Glenn was telling me she was showing her pictures off to everybody at karaoke.
Yes.
But you know, Veronica, she is a knowledge of wealth. You know, and do not, gentlemen, ladies, do not talk bad about a sister in front of Veronica. Do not do that, because Veronica will let you know right away. Don't do that. She will check you. She would check you. So, but
that's what's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, I love those two right there. Veronica's my baby sister, and I tell that all the time. And they get finished talking to her, say, "Okay, goodbye, I love you." It's just like family, you know.
Yes.
And they are a blessing to be around with.
They both. And like I said, you was talking about websites, and you know who makes the best websites in the whole world. is her husband, Glenn, hands down,
He done my radio station website.
Yeah, I see. It's
So
awesome.
so he done that. Then I get people that send me a message, oh, your website is great, but have you done this? If they looked at it, it was done already. Because Glenn is the one that will make sure everything is there for he'll talk to you and ask you, what are you going to do with it? What do you need? And he will put everything. And then what makes it so funny, he'll put things on there for the future that you don't even know about.
You know what? Yes.
So
I believe that, but
yeah. So here we are giving
that's
them a
so
plug.
awesome.
Here we are giving them a plug. So
I believe in giving people their flowers while they live. And
yeah.
if you're awesome, I'm sorry.
Well,
Stop being so awesome.
I always tell everybody, you know what, $ WSAN the radio, I take all donations.
Yes.
But I am a one-man show, like you're a one-woman show with your deal right there. Some of the best businesses are formed in the house, and you're doing it. And we know at times I am praying that I know it's going to happen, that I will be growing and getting the building again, because I see all that coming. But it's just my main goal is to have people like you on the show to tell us what's going on, to share your story, to share your business, because it's all about business. And I'm here to help the Black community out, and we need that support. And so that's what I'm here for. Yes.
And you guys are awesome. I certainly appreciate individuals like you and Vincent and the other, all the radio podcasts and radio station that allow us to come and share and do things that would, normally would cost us hundreds and thousands of dollars to do an advertisement. And so y'all are definitely a blessing to the community and to everyone around. Yes.
I appreciate
that. Thank you for having me on. But one more thing I want to say before we close is, because we have a lot of at-home businesses, that mean a lot of people don't go out as much, but my people, especially my melatonin sisters and brothers, please not only drink water, but get out and get some sun. I know it's 100 and something, but between 8 a.m. and 12, the sun is so nourishing. Just 15 minutes, just go out there and breathe or do something. We need to get some sun, because sun activates the melatonin in our body, and it will relieve stress, it will build the immune system, and it'll help us sleep at night. Okay. Right. I want to put that in there.
Yeah. But before we leave, give everybody your contact number or contacts, how they can get a hold of you.
Okay. Again, Vecheryl.com. That's my website. The book you can get on Amazon by simply typing in the search button Vecheryl Adams and look for the book He Fought, I Won. My YouTube channel, I don't have the link, but Vecheryl's Healthy House. My Facebook page is Vecheryl's Healthy House. My email is Vecheryl@Vecheryl.com. So basically what I'm saying, if you remember Vecheryl, you pretty much can get to most of my credentials. Yeah.
Vecheryl. Yeah. And also don't forget to see her sing. I'm gonna put that out there.
Oh yeah. We sing at it was several different venues.
Yeah.
Around the city. But yeah.
All I can say is she's always around when Karaoke Didi is around. So just find out where Karaoke Didi is playing at, and chances are you may catch this up and coming star right here.
Listening to you. It's all about fun. But but actually a CD is on my vision board. So that may be in the
I talked to several people already.
In the secret garden.
Yeah. I talked to several people that actually asked me my opinion about their singing and stuff. And I gave my honest opinion. Some of them might say, well, yeah, but try getting a voice coach and let them tell you where you excellent at and where you need help at. Notice I didn't say where you're bad at, it's where you need help at. So you got to choose your words and choose the right word. You mentioned bad, suddenly they think, wow, I'm a nobody. No, just find out. Yeah, just
Yes.
find out where your strengths and weaknesses are, and you get a good coach that can help you out.
Mhm.
So, but boy,
So what you
this
saying? I need to give me a coach?
I didn't say that. You think I'm gonna say that live and have people? I advise everybody to go ahead and try that. Don't go out on your own yet. Um, go to a voice coach and see what they think about it.
Yes,
They can let you know what notes you get,
exactly.
And Lord knows somebody always trying to be like Whitney. There's only one Whitney,
It's
okay?
only one Whitney.
You cannot hit them voices like, I mean, people try, they get close, but you can't do it. Be yourself.
Be yourself. Now I
Yeah,
sing some Whitney songs, but I sing it Vecheryl version.
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. You can't hit that high note. You can hit some notes in between there to make it yours, if you know what I mean. See, we don't went from this to that. So everybody, this is Vecheryl, and we appreciate you coming aboard, taking the time out, talking with us. And you keep that smile on your face, girl. Don't you ever change. And tell your daughter, you want to see, do you want to see a resemblance of mama and daughter? These two right there, I'm telling, that's all I can say. You cannot deny that's your daughter.
That's my baby girl. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of everything she's done. She's
You,
born and going. All of my 8 children are doing
yeah.
well.
Well, you tell her I
Uh,
said hi, she remember me. Uh,
yeah.
and everything. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody again. I'm looking forward to seeing you singing again, and I will call you later on today. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. It is now 1 minute after that. We went 1 minute over, but that's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I could do that. I could do that.
Hey, it's your thing. Do
There
what you
you
want to do.
Oh, see, don't throw that Ozzy Brothers in on me. I can't tell you who to sock it to or right, whatever. All right. We will catch you later on.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.